So today is day 1 of reading all of Jujutsu Kaisen in a week. We currently have 244 chapters remaining. This is gonna be a really long week. Let's get started with volume 0. Why is there a volume 0 and it doesn't just start at volume 1? It makes sense, but I still think it's, I don't know. I don't like it.
Volume 0 is the prequel series to Jujutsu Kaisen about this character named Yuta Okkotsu, who honestly has something better to do, man. He just disappears from the story after this volume.
Rika is this little girl that Yuta Okkotsu had a crush on when he was little, and she got run over by a car, and this panel is just a text bubble over her flattened head, and then just a stream of blood going across the side of the road. This is fucking gross.
Yuta ends up turning her into a curse, and then... Dude, honestly, if you really care about this plotline, go watch the movie. Why are you watching me?
I really like Yuta as a main character. I wish he was the main character of the series, but I also kind of like the route that Jujutsu Kaisen goes down. So I can't really complain. This introduction is fucking solid. Now that we have the little prequel out the way, we can start volume 1. Let's begin with chapter 1.
And now we finally get to begin the most wholesome and peaceful manga ever.
The thing that started it all. That is so fucking cool.
This first volume is a blast, and can I just say, Jujutsu Kaisen has one of the best character lineups I've ever seen. All these characters are great.
We're on volume 2 now. Watching Sakuna fight is one of the coolest fucking things in the series. It's just a shame we don't really get to see it too often, but holy fucking shit, in the anime, dude, they've been killing it. This is just so fucking cool, dude.
Going into this challenge, I knew this first day was gonna be one of the most difficult for me, just because I'm so familiar with the beginning of Jujutsu Kaisen.
We now have our now second years returning to the story, but there's no Yuta Okkotsu. For some reason, he's just not here anymore. Where the fuck that boy at? This is probably gonna be the final volume I read today. I have some homework I need to do and some projects. My school semester is about to end, so I don't wanna fuck it up at the very end. We're about to get introduced to one of my favorite characters in the entire series, Nanami.
I love how much of a stoic, serious fighter he is. I really like his clock in, clock out overtime joke. And man, when he appears on screen, you know that shit's about to go down.
Nanami at first glance doesn't acknowledge Itadori as a Jujutsu sorcerer. I just think that's so cool because of the stuff that ties in later. Okay, honestly, I don't know why I'm filming this, or let's just cut to me eating this and talk about the day. Today we're getting a late start to our day. Last night I was doing homework and then I played Fortnite. I don't know. I want to try to get 4 more books done. These are the 4 books that I planned on finishing today. I have a project due for one of my classes tomorrow that I need to start. I also got work tomorrow. So I want to try to make today eventful because I don't really know how eventful day 3 is going to be.
This is a really bad week. Out of all the weeks I chose to do this challenge, this week was not the one I should have done.
Reading the books isn't the hard part. The hard part is trying to balance it with your fucking life. If you're wondering where I am in the story, the whole Junpei stuff is finished. Now we're watching Mahito fight Itadori and Nanami.
I think in rereading this manga, I've had a new appreciation for this series. Just because of moments like this.
This is still one of the coolest fucking things ever. Mahito activates his domain expansion. He traps Nanami inside of it. Sure, Nanami is honestly fucking toast. He's going to die. Itadori breaks into it, and since Itadori jumps into the domain expansion, Itadori's soul is also affected by the domain expansion. But since Sakuna is inside of Itadori's body, then Sakuna's soul is also affected by the domain expansion, which means Mahito indirectly is affecting Sakuna's soul. Sakuna is stronger than Mahito, and Sakuna is not having any of it. Nanami acknowledges Itadori as a Jujutsu sorcerer. That is fucking cool. That is volume 4 done.
The complexity is the cool thing. If you really try to sit down and understand the power system, it makes a lot of sense and it makes the fights way more interesting.
I really like the fact that Todo tries to train Itadori like mid-fight. Like he is making Itadori faster and stronger as they're fighting. Also, he's the only guy in the Kyoto school that didn't want to just fucking kill Itadori for no reason, which I really respect. With that, we're finished. Half of the books I wanted to finish today, we're done. I'm gonna take a break from reading and start getting my homework done, and then we'll come back and finish 6 and 7, unless I just go to sleep, which that could also just happen.
I didn't do shit on day 3.
Good morning. Today is day 4. We are currently behind schedule, but I pretty much got a bunch of the things in my personal life done. school, etc. So now we can focus on continuing where we left off. I know I said I was gonna finish this. I did not finish this. Volume 6, baby.
This is the section in the story where the Kyoto school and the Tokyo school fight. So many great moments happen in this section. It was already super chaotic in this arc, and the fact that the cursed spirits show up, amazing.
We're currently seeing the Itadori and Aototo fight against Hanami, and it's fucking cool. He just used Black Flash.
This arc is like the conclusion arc to season 1. At the same time, it sets up so many things that I wasn't aware of, like Mei and Maki's dynamic. Oh my god. Just seeing the groundwork of that and seeing what that amounts to later on. So fucking cool. But not as cool as this.
And with that, we have finished volume 6. Time for volume 7.
Now we're moving on to volume 7. I will be honest, there's not really much that happens today.
They keep talking about wanting to seal Gojo on October 31st in Shibuya. How are you guys gonna seal the most powerful sorcerer of the all time? He's really strong. How are you gonna do that, man?
I finished this volume and volume 8, and then I had to just head off to work. So, good morning. We're on day 5. Fuck. So currently we have 8 volumes completed. That's about 70 chapters out of the original 244. So we're looking at about 174 chapters remaining in 3 days. The last volume ended off with Gojo's death, which isn't actually his death because it happens in the backstory. He's still alive in present day, so he didn't die.
Toji Fushiguro. I know he recently became a fan favorite because of the anime. I mean, some of the stuff that they're doing with his character is just fucking awesome. In the stories that I consume, I usually tend to gravitate towards the underdog character. And I know this guy is like technically way too strong to be looked at as an underdog character. But the more and more you get to find out about his life, his upbringing, he honestly is a fucking underdog compared to all these guys. Like, he is not even a Jujutsu sorcerer, yet he's still able to stand up against Gojo, which is just like, it's so fucking cool. This rematch is so fucking cool.
I really enjoy Gojo's backstory. It's a lot of information and it's fucking awesome. And it all climaxes to the end of this bond. Geto and Gojo have one final meeting with one another, and it's just so sad.
God, man. That panel is fucking spectacular. But I think the thing that's even more effective in showing how Gojo feels in that moment is when he's about to activate one of his techniques, and then his hand just... he's just like, I can't do it. And we end the volume off with finding out that Mekamaru was the mole the entire time. Right now I'm making food, and I'm gonna read volume 10. Hello everyone. It's time to go over everything that happens in the Shibuya arc. It starts off with a very notable fight, Gojo fighting the special grade curses. And he instantly defeats Hanami, ripping out his little eye sockets and blowing him up. Now we move on to volume 11 with the best character on the fucking cover. This is the volume where Gojo does the unthinkable and activates his domain expansion for about 0.2 seconds so that he can kill all the curses without any lingering effects happening to any of the humans that are nearby. But alas, Gojo sees the prison realm, which doesn't really matter because he's about a step away, but then he sees him, Geto. And it's over for my boy. There's a new plan in place now to rescue Satoru Gojo. Yuji Itadori teams up with Fushiguro to defeat some of the surrounding Jujutsu sorcerers that are, not on the good guys team. And one of the Jujutsu sorcerers turns his child into Toji Zenin. We move on to volume 12, and things are starting to ramp up. Toji Zenin does the impossible and takes over the body of this young boy and starts running amok. We have Nobara fighting the pony-haired guy that we saw earlier in the series, who pretty much did nothing. She gets defeated, but Nanami comes in and Yuji goes on to have a fight with a special grade curse, Chozo. Ends up pretty much losing, but Chozo has a fucking panic attack thinking that Yuji Itadori was his brother the entire time. Which, like, dude, what the fuck? Volume 13. Most of the Zenins plus Nanami get sent into a domain expansion, and they're pretty much gonna fucking lose. Then Fushiguro whips out his own domain expansion to counteract it, and it is fucking sick. They don't really know what to do, and they're gonna try to escape, but the little escape that's actually created for them brings in this motherfucker, Toji Zenin. And Toji Zenin starts kicking some major fucking ass. They end up winning, the domain expansion is canceled down, and he decides to go after the strongest opponent there, Megami Fushiguro, his own fucking kid. And what happens with the rest of the people? Jogo walks in and Jogo then runs over to an unconscious Itadori and starts feeding him Sakuna's fingers, which awakens Sakuna. Sakuna pretty much murders everyone that's there except for Jogo, and then looks at him and says, "Look, man, if you can beat me, I'll listen to you. But if you can't, you're fucking dead." Meanwhile, at the same time, Fushiguro is now fighting his father, which he doesn't really know. It's his father. It's a cool fucking fight. Anyway, at the end of the battle, Toji actually realizes that that is his son, asks him what his name is. He says Fushiguro, not Zenin. Good for you. And he kills himself. Sakuna is now fucking unleashed and is beating the shit out of Jogo. And as he's doing that, he is tormenting every single other person that's over there. Volume 14. Sakuna and Gojo's battle concludes, but not before Megami Fushiguro unleashes his strongest Shikigami that he has yet. Maharaga. I don't know. I don't really know how to say that shit. Anyway, Megami Fushiguro is fucking unconscious. Sakuna's like, "Motherfucker, I need that guy." And he goes over there and saves his fucking ass. What an amazing fucking battle. Sakuna turns back into Itadori, and Itadori witnesses a giant crater that has killed probably thousands, if not millions of people. And this is all because Itadori was not able to control Sakuna. Nanami is still alive. Well, kinda alive. He's like half burnt off. He is running around killing some of the cursed spirits until Mahito comes and puts his hand right on top of him. It's the end of Nanami. Nanami thinks about what he should do, thinks about if he should curse anybody, but he doesn't want to. And in the corner of his eye, he sees that Itadori is standing there. Nanami just looks over at him and says, "You got it from here," as his body disintegrates and he dies. Which goes into Yuji Itadori versus Mahito. What a sick ass fucking fight. But you know, it ends with Nobara dying. So, but it's okay because now we have Todo coming in and they kick the ever-living shit out of this motherfucker. This battle is dope as fuck, dude. Things ramp up and Todo has to cut off one of his hands, causing Boogie Woogie to not be able to be activated by himself anymore. Mahito gets a huge power upgrade mid-fight, but it doesn't matter because in the end, Yuji Itadori beats him. Mahito runs, Mahito crawls, and he ends up right in front of Geto, asking him for help. And Geto simply just fucking picks him up and swallows him, dude. And now we go on to the final volume in the Shibuya arc. Pretty much all of the cursed spirits have now been defeated, except for Geto. Our remaining characters have now grouped up together to fight Geto. Right before he gets away, we find out that Geto is actually Narutoshi Kama, which is like a super bad guy. I don't know. Goodbye, Yuji Itadori. I expected much from you. Are you listening, Sakuna? It is the beginning once again. The world of Pine. The golden age of cursed techniques. And with that was the Shibuya arc, I guess. I don't know. How did that turn out? Was that pretty good? That arc is fucking phenomenal, and I was so excited for when season 2 was coming out because holy shit, I just knew it was gonna be a banger. And guess what? It was a fucking banger. The next one that's coming up, that'll probably be in season 3. That one's good. It's just like a lot. It's like a lot. It's very, it's a lot of information. Oh my God, where's Gojo? And look at this. Just in case you anime watchers are still watching, I don't really know where the anime is going to leave off. I don't know if it's gonna show this, but check it out. Chapter 137. Look at who's on the fucking cover. It's our boy, Yuta Akotsu, showing up into the story a whole 137 chapters later. Wow. And what's his purpose in the story? He's gonna go and kill Yuji Itadori. Listen, homies, we got a little bit of an issue here. Today is not day 6, it's day 7. Fuck. Currently, we're 142 chapters in out of 244 total chapters. Yeah, and I do this every time to myself. I just don't learn. And I'm just coming to accept that. This is just who I am. This is me. This is exactly who I'm supposed to be now. I'm gonna let the light shine on me. Now I found who I am. There's no way to hold it in now. No more hiding who I want to be. This is me. So now that we got that out of the way, currently we're on volume 17. So honestly, we're not really doing that bad of a job. I think we're like right at the end of the Shibuya arc. We're about to enter into the culling games, which is, Jesus fucking Christ, one of the most confusing goddamn arcs I've ever experienced. So I'm going to be trying to pay extra attention this time around to actually try to figure out what the fuck is going on. I just own these 4 volumes, but I do want to catch up to the actual manga. 102 chapters. Let's do this thing. So back in day 1, I wanted to talk about this, but I decided to cut this out the video because of spoilers. When Yuji Itadori is talking to his grandfather in chapter 1, he wants to tell him about his parents, but Yuji doesn't really want to listen. This is why. And it's so fucking cool. Yuji's mom was the Kamo guy, Narutoshi Kamo, that's his name. Look at that. The 2 boys, the 2 main characters right there. Right now we're talking to Master Tenzin, and that's pretty cool, but This next section is probably one of my favorites. It's not when the principal dies. It's actually when Maki and Mei like merge. Mei dies, and then as a result, Maki gets the 50% of their overall power that was given to her. She just becomes 100%. So fucking cool. This section is just so sick. Like, bro, how can you not tell me that this isn't fucking awesome? People are gonna go crazy in the anime community when they see that. Volume 17 is now done. Volume 18. Honestly, when was Fushiguro able to do this shadow technique thing? Like, I know he was able to store cursed weapons inside of his shadow, but the fact that he's able to enter into people's shadow is so fucking cool. We're currently on chapter 160 called The Colony. This is when the culling games officially begins. I just finished volume 18. Would you look at this? The 2021 Valentine's Day ranking. Nanami is number 1. All those votes were me. They were all me. What the fuck? Fushiguro got 2nd, and Gojo got 3rd, and Geto got 4th? What? But these are all dudes. Only dudes won. I've read through the series maybe 2 or 3 times now, and I've never picked up the fact that this guy's name, Reggie Star, it's a pun for register because he uses receipts to fight. That's genius. We're done with volume 19. Last physical volume that I own. And then we're moving on to a legal means of reading the rest of the series. Right now we're watching Yuta Okkotsu take on 3 people. His is probably my favorite fight out of the ones we've seen so far. It's pretty cool. The fact that we learned that Yuta Okkotsu's ability is copy, dope ass fucking character. That took a good 2-3 hours, but we just finished all the volumes that I currently own, all 20 of them. Final chapter that was in this volume is chapter 180.
The culling games is about a bunch of people and they're like killing each other, and it's a lot. We get introduced to a lot of new characters and there's a lot of abilities, and that's cool because all the fights are super unique, but also some of these fights I've just had the hardest time understanding what these people do. Ideal Death Gamble is a domain based on the real pachinko machine. The rules are easy. Hit the jackpot by getting 3 of the same symbols. Just wait till you find out what it is. I'm so excited. Why is this so complicated?
Okay, so it's been a couple of hours and I'm on chapter 200. Not really feeling the best right now. So like whenever I get bored, I just lay down on the ground until I find it more boring to be on the ground than doing the task that I'm supposed to do. So I'm just gonna be here for a while. And I'm gonna get back to reading. I'm just gonna read 44 more chapters and that's it.
We have about less than 3 hours remaining on this challenge, and it was really getting to me. These 40 chapters felt so long. There were so many words, too much going on. But it was worth it because we got up to this point. This part is just so cool.
Check it out. Sakuna is now not inside of Itadori, but instead he is inside of Megami Fushiguro. Isn't that fucking crazy? And like low-key, like I remember when I first read this chapter, I didn't really understand like how this all worked. But now I'm actually like taking my time to read through it. It's interesting. This is really cool. Currently I'm on chapter 220. Sakuna is trying his best to start adapting to Megami Fushiguro's body. I still can't believe that this happened, but it is so fucking cool.
I remember reading that chapter and it felt like the universe just made sense. Like everything that Sakuna was planning and teasing, I understand. I was like, oh my god, it was this. It was such a satisfying twist. Anyway, now I just want to show off one of my favorite panels in the entire manga. Here it is.
We have like 8 more chapters and they're cool and all, but I know everyone and their mother who was watching this video was just waiting for this. What an ending. What the fuck, dude? This shit is fucking awesome. What a build up to this fucking fight. I love the fight so much between Sakuna and Gojo, and there's so many twists and turns, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is gonna happen? And then that happens. Nah, I'd win my fucking ass, bro. I'm so happy. That is so fucking cool. You're magnificent, Satoru Gojo. I shall never forget you for as long as I live. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish the remaining chapters. The final chapter that's currently out right now is chapter 244, where they do a retrial for Sakuna. God fucking damn, dude. Reading mangas in compressed periods of time is a lot. Thank you for watching and subscribe. Oh my god.